What if the most dangerous threat to the X-Men is not a mutant? What if the most dangerous threat to superpowered individuals is not a supervillain? What if it's the government? William Metzger never had powers. He didn't need them. In the comics, he weaponized fear and built an anti-mutant movement powerful enough to shake the mutant community to its core. And in the MCU, he may be building something much bigger. Not a militia, not a mob, but a system. And if Marvel is setting this up the way it looks, William Metzger might be the architect of the entire mutant saga. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nerds of the Multiverse channel. William Metzger was not a costume villain. He was a publisher, a strategist, the founder of the anti-mutant militia and the militia press. The militia press spread propaganda framing mutants as genetic threats, evolutionary replacements for humanity, and biological time bombs. Metzger didn't throw punches. He shaped perception. His movement grew. Fear spread and violence followed. And eventually, Magneto kills Metzger. But here's what matters. His death does not end anti-mutant ideology. It radicalizes it. And that's the blueprint. And Marvel adapts blueprints. If you want a more in-depth breakdown of who William Metzger is, go check out my latest character breakdown video. So how is Marvel going to adapt this into the MCU? Well, it's quite simple. Let's take a look at damage control. Because damage control did not become dangerous overnight. It evolved. Back in 2017, in Spider-Man Homecoming, damage control is introduced as a joint Stark government cleanup initiative after the Battle of New York. They confiscate alien tech, they shut down independent salvage operations, and they centralize enhanced related debris. It feels logical, post-Avengers regulation. But take a look closer. This is the first time the government claims ownership over superhuman fallout. Not S.H.I.E.L.D., not the Avengers, it's the federal government. And Homecoming establishes jurisdiction, and enhanced events are now government territory. And that distinction becomes critical later on. Then comes Spider-Man No Way Home, and damage control feels different. After Mysterio exposes Peter Parker, who raids his home? It's damage control. They detain minors. They interrogate high school students. They seize property, and they freeze assets. They treat Spider-Man like a domestic extremist. Even though Peter Parker is cleared, the tone has shifted. The DODC is no longer cleanup. It's enforcement. And remember, the Sokovia Accords are effectively dead. There's a vacuum of oversight, and damage control quietly fills it. And by the end of No Way Home, they've normalized surveillance and aggressive federal involvement in superhuman activities. That infrastructure already exists. Metzger wouldn't need to build it. He would just need to inherit it. And now we escalate. In Ms. Marvel, damage control crosses a line. They begin profiling enhanced individuals. They monitor communities. And they track Kamala Khan, a teenage girl, like she is a national threat. They stage armed raids in suburban neighborhoods. There is no alien invasion, no Thanos-level threat. It's just a young, enhanced girl discovering her powers. And the DODC responds like counterterrorism. This is preemptive containment. And that feels very close to comic anti-mutant policy. They stop differentiating between alien tech, inhuman, or anomaly. They categorize. And categorization leads to registries. Registries lead to detainment. Detainment leads to radicalization. And if William Metzger steps in after this era, he doesn't radicalize the department. He focuses it. And then She-Hulk quietly adds another layer. Superhuman law. Courtroom debates about identity, enhanced accountability, legal definitions of powered individuals. That's huge. Because once mutants emerge, the groundwork for registration, litigation, and legal restriction is already built. Metzger doesn't need sentinels one day. He just needs policy. And She-Hulk may have already shown us the first draft of it. And then in our most recent MCU project, the Wonder Man series, it explored Hollywood and superhero celebrity culture. And that matters, because public perception shapes policy. In the comics, Metzger used the militia press. In the MCU, he'd use press briefings, news cycles, public fear that is amplified by the media. And if mutants are framed as ticking time bombs, and superhuman individuals aren't allowed to work, like Simon Williams was going to be denied work as an actor, the public demands action, and damage control answers. The militia press becomes digital, and that is more powerful than ever. Now let's talk about the rumor that changes everything. Sadie Sink is rumored to be playing a rogue meta-human in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And apparently the Department of Damage Control has had her under surveillance for a long time. And William Metzger knows all about her. He's been chasing her. It's rumored that she is playing Jean Grey. And that's not a minor introduction, because Jean Grey is an Omega-level mutant. She's telepathic, telekinetic, and a potential host of the Phoenix. If someone like Jean manifests publicly, fear spreads instantly. And Metzger's argument writes itself. Mutants are unstable. Mutants are unpredictable. Mutants are dangerous. And if she's been under surveillance for years, that means that Damage Control has been tracking genetic anomalies long before the public knew mutants even existed. And that implies infrastructure, files, monitoring, and preparation. That is chilling. Spider-Man Brand New Day resets Peter to a more grounded world. Street level, there's consequences. If the DODC expands its authority during this era, Peter could once again find himself under surveillance. But now, the focus shifts from alien tech to genetics, which genetics is rumored to be a huge theme for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Peter and Bruce have conversations about gene mutation. Peter is rumored to be adapting organic web shooting. He might even change into the human spider that we saw in the 90s comics. This is huge. Brand New Day may not be the Mutant Saga climax, but it might just be the beginning. The moment that policy shifts, the moment that mutants move from rumor to registry. So, how could all of this lead to Magneto? Because Magneto doesn't appear in a vacuum. He appears in response. If mutant children are detained, if registries are built, if Jean Grey is being hunted, Magneto's ideology becomes understandable. And if he eventually kills Metzger like he did in the comics, that moment ignites everything. Because killing a government official does not calm fear. It validates it. And that's how the mutant saga could explode. In the comics, William Metzger built a militia. In the MCU, he may build the system that forces the X-Men to rise. And the scariest part, it won't start with a Sentinel. It will start with legislation. And Tremel Tillman is rumored to have signed a multi-film deal with Marvel, so he could definitely be appearing in Spider-Man Brand New Day and the X-Men reboot film that comes out in 2028. So what do you think? Are you excited about Tremel Tillman taking on the role of William Metzger? And are you excited that the character is coming into the MCU to potentially start the mutant saga? I'd love to know. That is all I have for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. And if you want to see more Marvel content such as news, rankings, theories, lore videos, breakdown, gaming videos, and more, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Also, for live updates, I am on social media. I am on TikTok at Nerds of the Multiverse. I'm on Instagram at The Nerds of the Multiverse, and I am on X at Nerds of the Vault 1. Also, if you have not already subscribed to the Nerd Bros Podcast YouTube channel, make sure you do so. That is a podcast between myself and the Nerds of Ren. It is Marvel, Star Wars, and DC, and it is every Tuesday night, and you do not want to miss it. But with all that being said, I love you 3000, and I will see you in the next video.